Arena with an incessant din to see the great man come back one last time. And he did. Rossman, 22 years of age, pummeling Victor Galindez into submission in the 13th round. Mike Rossman became the new WBA light heavyweight champion of the world. His elation was uncontainable, and understandably so. But things were set up for a rematch on February 24th. In Las Vegas, Nevada. Right there, the crowd waiting for the fight. This one in Johannesburg, the Republic of South Africa, against Richie Cates. And in this one, a terrible butt caused a horrible gash over Galindez's eye, blinding him. But the fight continued after a long delay, and in the 15th round, the left again did away with Richie Cates. Galindez lost his title to this man September 15th past, Mike Rossman. And here's Mike Rossman's history. Moving up in class in his international television debut, he showed devastating knockout power. Watch the right hand. There it was. From there, moving ahead, he took on young Mike Quarry and made mincemeat of him. The fight ended in 6 rounds. Rossman pummeling Quarry. After that, a setback. Yaki Lopez tore apart Mike Rossman. Finally, Rossman's corner had the fight stopped, and it appeared that Rossman's career might be stopped. Look at Lopez giving it to Rossman. But he came back. There's no quit in young Mike Rossman. This was against Bennett, Lonnie Bennett, May of 1978. And that set up Galindez against Rossman. This was round 5, September 15th past. And Galindez, with his old familiar habit of using every part of the body, the shoulders, the arms, the elbows, had Rossman against the rope. But Rossman would not give in, would not knuckle under. Came back with his own counter-punching and established that he could take the best that Galindez could offer and come back with more of his own. Then after the 5th round, with Rossman assuming dominance, round 11 showed up. Round 11. Galindez had been cut over the eye in that 6th round. Here in the 11th round, sticking to his fight plan, Rossman went to the eyes again, knowing that Galindez cuts in that area and that the flow of blood will impair the Galindez vision. Look at that left getting in there. And so the cut was reopened, and Galindez became a gory mess. And so Rossman was securely now in control of the fight. By round 13, everything had worked to perfection, and Rossman was a clean, sharp, short, confident, punching fighter. And it was Galindez who was running out of steam, and it was Galindez now who was against the ropes and rendered helpless. And that's when the fight was stopped, and Mike Rossman had become the WBA light heavyweight champion of the world. The careers of 2 fighters in focus, Mike Rossman and Victor Galindez, each a warrior in the strictest sense of the word. Galindez did. Both weighed in at 174 1/8 pounds. Rossman with a big age in years. He's 22. Galindez is 30. We'll get to the rules and the fight itself when we come back to the Superdome in a moment. See the tail of the tape. The big edge in age that Rossman enjoys. Galindez will be 31 in November. Rossman zone, his fellow countryman, the former great middleweight champion. Mike Rossman, a devastating puncher with either hand. And the rules today, the 10-point must system and scoring. Scoring done by 2 judges. That they would. The bell now for round 1. The referee, Stanley Christodoulou of South Africa, a veteran who refereed Galindez's fight against Richie Cates in Johannesburg in May of '76. Galindez usually he changes this time. He tries to go to the belly. He is a punishing puncher. His left hook can be tremendous. First round action. The judges, Waldemar Schmidt of Puerto Rico, Jesus Celi of Venezuela. So the officials should be to Galindez's liking. Christodoulou, for instance, in the Cates bout, gave Galindez, a long delay after Cates had butted him savagely in the 3rd round. And Galindez came on to win by a knockout in the 15th. A quick left, sharp jab. Rossman's jab stings. It has strength behind it. It is not a little flick. Jab up in the area of the eyes, where Rossman will concentrate. First round action, the beginning of things, 1:45 left. Left by Galindez. Rossman counter with the right and then the left. Both fighters in center ring. Both fighters obviously a bit wary. Cautious. Rossman got that left in there, countering Galindez's left. Saw Rossman's right glove pick off Galindez's left. Again, Rossman picks it off. Counting down now toward the end of round 1. A cautious round. Tin face of young Mike Rossman. Your concentration. Galindez, squat, stocky, powerhouse body. End of the round coming up. Round 2, the bell having just sounded. The first round cautious. These two men with too much respect for one another to gamble in the early going, not in the wake of their brawl of last September 15th. But in fairness, Mike Rossman getting the left in occasionally as he did just there. And if the round was to go to anybody and not be called even, it would seem to me it would have gone to Mike Rossman. This second round action. Good right in there by Galindez on the inside. Rossman's fought 43 times, 136, 23 by KOs, lost 4, drawn 3 times. Galindez had 10 successful title defenses before he lost to Rossman, one of the great of recent light heavyweights. Galindez there with the left has been to the well 67 times, 154 with 33 KOs, lost 7, drew 4, 2 no decision. So the nuts and bolts of the contest, all now before you. Round 2. Like to alert our stations along the line. At the end of this round, we'll be providing a station break. Crowd yelled more than Rossman's blow was worth. It actually landed on Galindez's right arm. Rossman getting the left in, up in the eye area, which is what he wants to do. Galindez there, going to the belly. Rossman with a good right to the head. But that's what Galindez really figures on doing in this fight. Just giving it to Rossman in the stomach, wearing him down. Is a tremendous body puncher. On the infighting there, Rossman the better of it with a sharp right that landed. These two men are hitters, aren't they? See Victor going down to the midriff. There can be no question that Galindez is in far better condition for this fight than he was last September. As we're coming closer to the end of round 2. Rossman fighting with purpose, knowing his fight plan. will return with more of ABC's Wide World of Sports after this from our local stations. The second round even. Galindez started connecting to the belly. That's what Rossman has to watch out for. Rossman still getting the left in to the face, but no cuts yet on Galindez. Third round action. You can read the respect these men have for each other. Quality fighters. The WBA light heavyweight championship at stake. Galindez after it. No light heavyweight has ever recaptured a crown. For a long time, the heavyweights had that history. Patterson changed that, and Ali changed it twice. Getting the left in. Caution from Christodoulou. Stanley Christodoulou, the referee of South Africa, telling Mike Rossman to get those blows up. In fact, there were two that were low, or at least looked low. Mike with a good quick combination. Short, direct punches. The ropes, work the belly, get up to the head, out-muscle him, maul him. When Galindez gets Rossman against the ropes, watch his shoulders. Galindez, after a right lead, left himself open. That's the danger of the right lead. And Rossman was quick with the left and then the right. The left into the face again. Again, third round action. Some of those blows with his gloves. Galindez got through with the left. Counting down to the end of round 3. The lower right-hand corner evidence is that. Nobody has really broken through yet. Punished the other man. You between rounds this time. Take a gander again at some of the action in the round. There's the bell that I referred to, the left and the right. But Galindez not connecting with that left a little short. Now the right into the kidneys, that hurts, and then the left caught Rossman, and Galindez had Rossman where he wanted him. But Galindez, the face of a fighter. Forget the round. A long right that connected after a left lead had connected. Galindez dropped his gloves and backed off for just a second. Somehow he seemed startled by the length of that right. Stanley Christodoulou, Republic South Africa, the referee. 16 years he's been a referee. Rossman straight up. Straight ahead. The left, his principal instrument. Set up the right. There, you saw that counter-punching right by Rossman. Galindez trying to get inside, and Galindez's head snapped back by that Rossman right. Reach edge with Mike Rossman. Galindez wants to get inside and use that body strength of his. Either man wanting to leave himself open, too much respect for the other. The length of that left. Meanwhile, Galindez's lefts are not quite reaching the opponent. Or if they do, they are picked off in the main. Wild right. He was not staggered by a blow. The crowd misread it. He was off balance. Galindez was. Rossman has Galindez directly above us. And Galindez got in a left to Rossman, then stunned him. Galindez appearing wild in his movements, but still effective because of his body strength. Got to always be careful with that fighter. Good Galindez left and another left. Now they're beginning to mix it up. Look at Galindez as Rossman was trying to tie him up. Punching to the kidneys. And they hurt. Take their turn on a fighter. Wear him down. Fourth round action, and we're not that far away from the end of the round. Galindez again with the right into the midsection. Or the side and the kidney, really. Coming to the end of round 4. A tough round, a good left and a right uppercut hurt Rossman, and Galindez is hurting Rossman. What an ending to the round. The fighters don't stop fighting. Hurt Rossman first with a left and then a strong right uppercut. And you see the scene in the ring as hard feelings flare. And the man in Galindez's corner coming out to get at Rossman, blaming Mike for the activity that occurred after the bell had rung. Let's look at it in slow motion. Now watch this action. You saw that left? That hurt him. Another left. Right. Rossman trying to hold on, and there was the uppercut. And Galindez, at the end of the round, had taken command. Now watch what happens. Galindez starts arguing with a fan. That's Andy Rossman, Mike's brother, who came into the ring. So Mike went after Galindez. And now it's round 5. And we've got a wild scene and the makings of another brawl. Galindez becomes the aggressor. He is tigerish. A wild left missed. Galindez, oh, that right got in there. Galindez is making the fight, and more effectively than he fought at any time last September. Rossman's face is red from the blows he took at the end of the 4th round. Rossman, at this point in time, must be careful. He must keep his composure. He must forget the altercation with the brother Andy. The crowd is on its feet as Galindez has Rossman again against the ropes. That wide, sweeping left hook of Galindez is beginning to get through now, and it has tremendous power in it. He destroyed Jorge Almada with it, Richie Cates with it, others with it. This is coming to you live from the Superdome in New Orleans, Louisiana. And suddenly a turn in the fight in the 4th round as Galindez began to take over. Galindez with the right lead. It came to the back of the head. Rossman just said to Christodoulou, have him stop it. He was butting, using the head. Sure. Galindez has always done that. The head, the shoulders, the arms, the elbows, everything. This is the 5th round. We almost had a melee here at the end of the 4th. Two quick lefts by Galindez. Then he sought to bring the right in. Galindez is punching sharply now. Look at him go to the belly with that left, though Rossman picked it off. That one picked off. That left got in. Rossman now is taking it, and it is Galindez who is the aggressor.
Arriba, campeón, manda usted, manda. Manda usted. Ese campeón, Vito.
Coming to the end of the round. scalp of Victor Galindez. Thus far, no blood where it would hurt him and his fighting ability most, above the eyes. Rossman has not been able to open those cuts up, those old cuts. He did it in the 5th and 6th rounds of their first fight, and after that was able to dominate. Let's see if there's a repeat. I have given the last 2 rounds to Victor Galindez, who came on strongly and stung Rossman very, very much in the 4th round, just before that action after the bell. A good left by Galindez. He is now getting that sweeping left hook in there. He's coming over. Rossman's right again, and you saw Rossman's head. Galindez making effective use of that left. Wild right missing. And Rossman grows more cautious. Galindez going down to the belly with the left. The right lead occasionally, and it's been working to a reasonable degree, though once it cost Galindez when Rossman countered very effectively. No change in Rossman's style, stance, posture. Straight up, trying to use that left. Ultimately set up the devastating right. But in the meantime, Galindez have a sharp and once again a very exceptional fighter. The way it was before last September. Picked off Galindez's earlier blows. The ultimate right got in. Mike is now feeling the kind of punishment Galindez can render. Mike got in 2 quick left jabs. As this fight progresses, if it does, a good right by Galindez, stinging Rossman. Then condition becomes a factor, and maybe Rossman's youth will work for him. Maybe. Incidentally, in the interview, Mike said he thought it would. He also said he was going to do more body punching in this fight, but that has not been in evidence. This is the 6th round, and we are approaching the end of it. Now the end of the round at hand. My book, the winner of the last 3 rounds. Between rounds, they were rubbing down Galindez's left arm, and he was shaking it vigorously. He has been using it frequently and effectively. A sweeping left to sting Mike Rossman. Mike Rossman with a good, quick uppercut. Stanley Christodoulou is the 3rd man in the ring. 16 years a referee from South Africa. Saw the right of Galindez and then the left. Mike Rossman at the moment, just at the moment, doesn't seem to have the spark. Could change at any time. Couple of quick, effective blows. 7th round action. Rossman's face into Galindez's shoulder, which in itself is dangerous. Galindez punching away on the inside, trying to get to the midriff. Galindez, a much more difficult target. There, Rossman's fans encouraged by 2 quick lefts. See Galindez hold him with the left hand and maul him with the right. This is the way he becomes so effective when the referee does not interfere. Then with the weight of his body against the opponents, it's going to be worn down, and that lead left of Galindez stung Rossman again. this moment, and Rossman is trying to cover. And Galindez has him in the opposite corner. And that's when he uses that body strength. And he gets the right in there. Tries to get a right uppercut. Then goes down to the belly with the right and the left and the right again. And the punches go to the kidneys. Rossman trying to cover. Rossman holding on. Galindez fighting Victor Galindez's fight as we approach the end of the 7th round. What seemed to me to be a Rossman butt over Galindez's right eye opened a gash. It's been closed. That's the kind of thing we'll have to watch for as this fight gets down to its waning stages. Rossman's corner, he appeared tired, a bit discouraged, but was being enormously encouraged, as would be expected by his handlers. 8th round. Galindez, when he's right, a difficult target. Those punches come from all over. Rossman started well enough, in my book, winning the 1st and 3rd rounds with the 2nd round even. After that, it seems to me Galindez has taken over the fight. Might getting in a couple of lefts. Now Mike begins to score. Using his left more effectively in this round, and then the right in combination. Banking left by Galindez. If there's fatigue showing in either fighter, in this, the 8th round, it seems to me to be in Rossman. Yet blood is now coming out of Galindez's mouth. Remember, Rossman is 8 years younger than Victor. Right by Galindez, and Rossman holds on. The right lead. Even being used now by Galindez, and with perhaps increasing effectiveness. Maybe that fight Galindez had in Argentina after the cancellation, again Galindez scoring, helped him a great deal. That's what he said in our interview through his interpreter. The end of round 8 coming up. Again Galindez scoring. 9. This crowd wildly excited over this fight, and every reason to be. It started cautiously, but from the 3rd round on, it's been steady, steady, steady fighting, and steady, steady, steady movement by Victor Galindez with his back now toward you. He began to take control of this fight, as I see it, in the 4th round. He's thrown punches from all over. The right lead has scored effectively. A sweeping left has stung Rossman. At the end of the 4th round, Rossman seemed genuinely hurt. Then fisticuffs after the round involving Victor Galindez and Mike's kid brother, Andy. Rossman's going to come on. Now's the time to start doing it. Mike has not been able to cut open Galindez's eyes, his most susceptible area. Good right by Rossman, and then a good left by Galindez, and a good right again by Galindez. That right getting in there now, more and more. Galindez providing a difficult target. Look at that long sweeping left, and Galindez right after him. Tigerish, as I said, pinning Rossman against the ropes. Galindez now fighting exactly the way he wants to fight. Rossman covering and not fighting back effectively. If events permit, at the end of this round, the me alert our stations, there'll be a station break, if events permit. But with the action going this way, you can't tell. Saw that left of Galindez's. And what a difficult target Galindez is. He wraps himself up. The head is kept low. He can bob and weave. He moves those shoulders. And out of all of that morass comes a right like that. As I said, he punches from every way. See Mike covering. The measure here is the number of blows being thrown by Galindez vis-a-vis the number being thrown by Rossman. Rossman is covering. He is the defender. We'll return with more of ABC's Wide World of Sports after this from our local stations. This fight seems to be over. I believe Mike Rossman has broken his right hand. I cannot tell you exactly when it happened, but it is over, and Galindez is leaping to his feet. He is now falling down in the ring in his elation. They're running over to the corner, and they are taunting Mike Rossman. Look at their faces. Galindez is again the light heavyweight champion of the world, the first man ever to have regained the title. A disconsolate Rossman sitting in his corner, the gloves being taken off as quickly as possible, and quite apparently now the hand was broken. We will try to find out from Mike Rossman when it happened, but giving Galindez his due from the 4th round on, he took over.
This is round 1 at Madison Square Garden.